e aperto a tutti quanti.
We are the Bowtie travelers. Welcome to Vienna.
Vienna, the capital and the largest city of Austria, is famous for its cultural events, imperial sites, coffee houses, and a very special Viennese charm. Unlike any other, the Baroque lifestyle has shaped much of Vienna, making it one of the best places in Europe to experience Baroque and Rococo art.
The Baroque style used movement, exuberant details, surprise and grandeur to achieve a sense of awe. This is why when in Vienna you just look at those beautiful buildings and you'll really be astonished about how beautiful this city is. This is because Vienna is rich in Baroque buildings.
With a musical heritage that includes composers Mozart, Beethoven, Johann Strauss, among countless others, Vienna is known as the city of music. With our 3 days packed itinerary, we hope to satiate our passion of sightseeing with the city full of Baroque buildings, imperial palaces and cultural events. In these 3 days, we will sightsee amongst others St. Stephen's Cathedral, Naschmarkt, Palace, Schönbrunn Palace, Belvedere Palace, and a day trip to the Melk Abbey and the Warsaw Valley. And we hope this may inspire you for your next sightseeing adventure to Vienna. Day 1. St. Stephen's Cathedral, Naschmarkt, Hofburg Palace. St. Stephen's Cathedral is not only the main Roman Catholic church in Vienna and the seat of the city's archbishop, it is also one of Austria's most popular attractions, welcoming more than 1 million guests each year. With its 137-meter high spire and richly decorated roof, it is the city's most important Gothic edifice and represents 8 centuries of architectural history. Inside the cathedral, ornate Gothic columns supporting the roof tell tales of the saints, with countless solemn faces peering out from the stone walls.
I'm actually sitting inside the St. Stephen's Cathedral in Vienna. For Austrians, this is one of the most beloved landmarks of the city. St. Stephen's Cathedral is one of the most important Gothic architecture in Vienna.
climb the 343 steps up to the tower and enjoy a breathtaking view of the city.
We are actually at the top of St. Stephen's Cathedral in the center of Vienna.
St. Stephen's is particularly famous for its majestic towers, which have dominated Vienna's skyline for centuries. From St. Stephen's Cathedral, there is a 15-minute walk to the Naschmarkt. As Vienna's most popular outdoor market, the Naschmarkt is a colorful, lively place that dates to the late 18th century, when the area was mostly reserved for farmers selling fresh milk and other dairy products. There are some 120 different stores at the market. It is a good idea to reserve at least 1 hour and a half to wander around, taking in sights, smells, colors, and if you are lucky enough to be handed a sample or two, flavors.
How is it?
What's your name? Neptune. Try something fresh off the mouth. Such a wild one.
And this is very good almond, very salty.
Very nice. How's it possible to vacuum seal it so they can...
It's spicy. Nice, I like spicy.
The variety of ingredients sold on the Naschmarkt may lead to the thought of a broadly varied cooking culture. In fact, dishes heavily depending on meat make up typical Viennese cuisine.
Naschmarkt is one of the well-known and the biggest markets in Vienna. It is popular among tourists. This is because it has a lot of luxury food stores where you can have pastry, meats, vegetarian sandwiches, you name it, you can find it in the Naschmarkt in Vienna.
Viennese cuisine is also best known for its pastries.
Flour inside. Black one. Just one nut inside. Nine.
Good, very good. Yeah, I know. Yeah. This is my favorite.
From Naschmarkt, there is a 13-minute walk to the Hofburg Palace. Hofburg Palace, Vienna's Imperial Palace, is one of the biggest palace complexes in the world. The Imperial Palace was the residence and seat of government of the Habsburg emperors until 1980. Today, the palace houses 3 museums, which afford historically authentic insight into the traditions and everyday life of the imperial court. belonging to the Belvedere Palace, Platz in Vienna, or Eros Square, is not only a square of historical and political importance, but often also plays host to current events. We happen to witness with delight one of those events, Feste der Freude, the Festival of Joy, which takes place every year to commemorate the anniversary of the liberation of Austria from the Nazi regime. The evening was a mixture of speeches.
Millionen sind eingezogen und auf eine Minute.
Short videos and the majestic Vienna Symphony Orchestra.
They are clapping. I don't know why they are clapping. I just have to clap as well.
Wunderschönen Abend. Vielen Dank.
Yeah, I just have to clap. So I think they start soon. And then
Day 2. Schönbrunn Belvedere Palace.
Schönbrunn Palace is one of Europe's most impressive Baroque palace complexes. It was the main summer residence of the Habsburg rulers. It is located in Erzing, Vienna. The history of the palace and its vast garden spans over 300 years, reflecting the changing tastes, interests, and aspirations of successive Habsburg monarchs.
the 1441 Baroque Room Palace is one of the most important historical, cultural, social, and architectural monuments in the country.
Only a small part of the 1,441 rooms are publicly accessible for visitors.
We've just been inside this Schönbrunn Palace. We tried to sneak out some footage. It is strictly forbidden to take pictures and videos inside the Schönbrunn Palace. But we managed to sneak out some pictures and videos. We are at the back of the Schönbrunn Palace, and there is a huge garden at the back of this palace. The Schönbrunn Palace, it's a palace that was made to copy the Versailles Palace in Paris. And the garden is almost the same like the Palace of Versailles.
The French Garden, a big part of the area, was planned by Jean Trehet, a disciple of André Le Nôtre, the principal gardener of King Louis XIV of France and the designer of the Palace of Versailles garden. From Schönbrunn Palace, there is a 47-minute metro ride to the Belvedere Palace. The Belvedere Palace is a majestic example of Baroque architecture in Austria. It was constructed by Johann Lucas von Hildebrand for Prince Eugene of Savoy.
The Belvedere Palace was constructed by the Prince Eugene of Savoy as its summer residence, but now it became one of the most important Baroque buildings in Austria.
Belvedere Palace is a palace complex that consisted mainly of three parts: the Upper Belvedere, the Lower Belvedere, and the garden. The Belvedere Palace is the present home of two museums which features the best of Austrian art.
The Prince Eugene of Savoy loved art, and inside you have one of the most beautiful collections of paintings in the world.
If you wish to experience amazing scenery which captures the beauty of Baroque architecture and art at its finest, a visit to the Belvedere Palace is surely worth the trip. Day 3, Melk Abbey and the Danube Valley day trip. To reach the Danube's Wachau Valley from Vienna, an hour trip by train is required to the city of Melk. Located on the banks of the river Danube, Melk is a picturesque city with a rich history in Lower Austria's Wachau Valley. With a population of just under 6,000 citizens, life is laid back here, making it an ideal port of call on any river cruise. Before our Danube River cruise, we decided to wander around the city of Melk and enjoy the Melk Abbey. Melk is home to a marvelous Benedictine abbey that sits on a steep hill overlooking the town. This Benedictine abbey was founded in 1089, and Melk has been a cultural and spiritual center of Austria ever since. Melk Abbey is one of the biggest and most beautiful European Baroque ensembles. The Danube River cruise from Melk to Krems to get our train back to Vienna allowed us to enjoy the beauty of the Danube landscape.
We are now cruising from Melk to Krems. We are on the Danube River. The cruise will take us about 2 hours to get to Krems. And in these 2 hours, we'll be enjoying this picturesque landscape of the Danube River.
We enjoyed the diverse landscapes, the artfully laid out vineyards with their typical stone walls, the broad plains and the precious art treasure on both banks that makes this one of the most beautiful stretches of the river valley in Europe. Not only is the Warsaw Valley incredibly beautiful, it is culturally significant as well. The towns and agricultural landscape of the Warsaw Valley have managed to evolve with the changing time, while still preserving aspects of traditional life. This authentic, living cultural landscape is why UNESCO named the Warsaw Valley a World Heritage Site in 2000.